What are your thoughts on Tyreek's plan to retire at the age of what? By the time this contract ends, he'll be 29, 30?
Well, he just turned 29. So
Oh, excuse
if
me.
if you figure, okay, well, it's 2023. He's got 3 more years on the contract. It's going to be what, 31, 32 when he ends up retiring
Still
after
in his
this
prime.
contract runs out. I mean, the way that I see it, this was a little premature as far as I see it. And don't get me wrong, if that's the route that Tyreek wants to go, if Tyreek were to bow out in 2025, I mean, you look back on his career and it's been an undeniable success. I mean, the way that he has, I would say, evolved the wide receiver position has been interesting simply just because he's just a speedster. But for someone like him to be as effective as he is, as small as he is, because he's not the tallest guy out there. I think Tyreek Hill is like, what, 5'10, 5'11, maybe 6 feet at the most. But the fact of the matter is, he's just able to burn past corners and take the top off of opposing defenses. That's what his role was when he was in Kansas City, where they were getting Super Bowls based off of it, or at least going to the Super Bowl, I should say. But when it comes to him potentially retiring in 2025, I still think it's premature. I'm not going to say like this is going to be 100% certain that he's going to retire because priorities change, and let's say, for example, if certain business ideas or business opportunities don't pan out, or if they're just not available for him, say 2 or 3 years from now, that could definitely affect his time in the NFL. That may kind of shift his priorities to maybe play a couple more years in the NFL. And Kev, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never really heard somebody say they're going to retire 2, 3 years out and pick a definitive year. Say, yeah, I'm going to be out by then. I mean, I've heard guys like, Brady say they'll retire by 45, but you never really knew what you were going to get. I mean, he ended up making it to 45 years old, but there were some people potentially thinking that he could go past that. He even kind of indicated that he could play past 45 if he wanted to. So when it comes to Tyreek, if Tyreek were to bow out, like I said, at 31, 32 years old, his career would be a phenomenal one. He'd be a Hall of Famer for sure, just based off of how effective he was in his time with the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm not 100% certain that he's going to hang it up in 2025. If he has the opportunity to play longer and if there's success that comes along with it, maybe he sticks around, or he could just decide to hang it up after a certain point. And if 2025 is the year for him, I'll tip the hat to the guy and, wish him nothing but the best moving forward. But I am happy for him in this sense. When it comes to NFL players, when they reach the end of their career, sometimes they get caught with their pants down and not setting themselves up for that next step in their life. And we've seen, unfortunately, there's a dark side that comes with the NFL where, guys make all of this money throughout their playing career. They don't invest properly and they end up going bankrupt. And some guys financially go into major peril after their playing career. So I am glad that Tyreek is planning for the future as he should. And I think that's a smart long-term view for what's going to come in the next part of his professional career. But I'm not 100% certain that he's just going to retire in 2025. We have to see how things play out in Miami with the Dolphins over the next couple of years. And, if Miami is successful and he's a big catalyst behind it, maybe he sticks around for a couple more years past 2025. But I'm not sold on him being out in 2025. If he is, I wish him nothing but the best. But I'm a little bit skeptical on this retirement talk from Tyreek Hill.
No, I'm in the same boat. I mean, first, let me start with the guy's an incredible talent. We know what he can do to opposing defenses. We know the type of wide receiver that he is and the playmaker that he is for whatever organization he's going to be a part of. I will say, if he is going to make this decision with the mindset of investing, being a good business partner, business owner, making sure that he is set for the future, how can you have qualms with somebody preparing for the betterment of his family? What I'm going to say is saying something like this prematurely might make you look bad, especially if you were to end up coming back and saying, you know what, like if Miami were to win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, I know my brother would love that. And he's like Kyle said, an integral part of that. Or if he were to finish his contract out and he gets another contract offer next to or close to a max deal, I don't know how much you can leave that on the table. Tyreek's not somebody that goes out there and is consistently knocked out. He's not someone that crosses the middle of the field. He's not someone that returns punts anymore. He is, I don't want to be disrespectful, but low key like a one trick pony. Run in a straight line or catch a screen pass. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not someone that's going to go out there and consistently get injured unless it's like a hamstring, a calf. But I'm not going to belittle someone's injury history, or what he can do in the future. But I'm happy he is able to acknowledge, like, hey, like, I know what I have in front of me. I know the athletic ability that I have. And I commend him for saying, I will make whatever I can from this NFL contract and what I can from this league, but I am going to look forward and say, let me hang it up while I still have my consciousness, while I still have my memory. God forbid he were to get career-ending injury. You never know what that's going to do to someone's life. He's got kids. You want to be able to play with them, enjoy their youth, give them a good life, plan for their kids, because again, the money that he has is generational. We're talking about multi-millions of dollars between endorsements, NFL money, incentives. It's just, there's so much stuff that Tyreek Hill could potentially get. And I will give him, like I said, credit for acknowledging, like, hey, I have an opportunity to do something for the future. Now, on the playing side, dude, that itch may come. We saw Tom Brady play till he's 45. You may say this now, but you also haven't been able to do much in the postseason with Miami since you've been there. Let's pump the brakes. If you were to make a run, Tua starts to develop, the roster starts to explode the way that it can. Again, like you win a Super Bowl, therefore you may get the addictive itch to say, like we got something special here in Miami. Or if it flops in Miami and I don't know, the Chiefs wanted to bring you back on a crazy deal. You said Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. You never know. Business opportunities may present themselves on the table to say, hey, come play for us for 1 year where we know you want to retire. We just give it a shot. So let's not count the chickens before they hatch. Let's not close any doors before the opportunity presents itself. If he so decides to officially do it and say, screw it, I'm done, I've had enough, kudos to him. Walks away, early 30s, millions of dollars in his pocket, and he has intentions to do right with it. So again, if Tyreek Hill wants to hang him up, good for him. If not, I know teams are going to ask for his services. He's not going away.